like posters? Of course you do, you big goober. Then head on over to Displayed. Whether you want a framed picture of Carolina's bosom, yep, there that is, whew, you saucy biscuit, or your very own map of Biscuit Town. Look at that, I can see my house from here. Oh, that's nice. Then head on over to displayed.com/biscuit. A small amount of every single purchase will go towards helping my channel. So thank you to Displayed. Warning, this video contains spoilers for the Woman's Lot DLC and the ending of Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
I feel very professional when you're like, we have a question and I bring the coffee to my lips.
Oh, that's perfect. There you go. All I've got is Febreze. Does that work?
I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but
I have an empty Lucozade bottle. I don't know. Are you hungry right now?
Famished. Thank you for asking.
I think after the Tom McKay interview, I think it's only right that I ask literally everyone, are you hungry?
So this is a thing that Henry's hungry a lot?
Henry is always hungry.
Okay.
He's always hungry. He always goes, I'm feeling quite hungry. I don't know how he does his voice. I'm feeling quite hungry. It just turned into Fat Bastard, didn't it, really? Get in my belly. Yeah.
Tom McKay actually played Fat Bastard in the hit smash Austin Powers.
He did. That's an unknown fact. Yeah, he actually did. So this is a breaking exclusive right now. It wasn't Mike Myers. Yeah.
I know it's been a massive confusion amongst media elites, and it's time that he gets credit for the work he did.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have like 4 different cups of different types of liquid here, so I'm just gonna alternate through them.
Why?
What? Maybe I'm always thirsty. What about that?
Oh, there you go.
Maybe we shouldn't leave out the other sense.
That's Teresa's thing then. She's always thirsty. My glass is just steaming up. It's so hot here right now.
It's quite hot here as well.
You're in LA, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's that like? Is that warm?
The weather or the city?
Whoa, LA as a whole, is it okay? How does it compare to England, I suppose?
Oh, I love England so much. London is my favorite city in the whole world. So
oh, wow.
I tried to live there. I couldn't get a visa.
Yeah.
I was booted out of the country. This was in 2011.
Oh.
And
oh no.
I've never been the same since. I would honestly, if I had a chance to move to England, I'd do it tomorrow.
Well, there's always hope, I suppose. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I was like broke and a student, and what does England want with me at that point?
Oh,
you know? I don't have anything to offer England.
No, it's like the same as me when I wanted to go to the States. I wanted to move to the States, and then I was just like, I know my times tables, and that's it. Can I come over? I have an English accent. Does that help anyone? Because over in America, they love the English accent.
So we love it so much.
Oh, it's great. It's great. You walk into like any place and go hello, and then everyone just goes, oh.
I know.
It's great.
Me included.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's Victoria. Hey, Victoria. How's it going? Yeah, today we're going to be interviewing Victoria Hogan, aka Teresa. I'm very excited about this one. Because not only is she the star of a Woman's Lot DLC, which is my favourite DLC apart from the Ashes, building Biscuit Town is still the best part of that game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're a bit biased, but...
I'm a bit biased. Slightly, yeah. Why weren't you in Biscuit Town? What happened there?
I don't know what Biscuit Town is.
You do. Okay, hang on. No, the ultimate question we need to start with is, have you played Kingdom Come Deliverance?
I've not played Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Has anyone played Kingdom Come Deliverance?
I don't know. Well, I was going to play it. I went to PAX with Toby, Sir Toby, and I was going to play it there, but it wasn't plugged in. There's a video, and it's like us going like this, but it's not plugged in, I don't think.
It wasn't plugged in?
Secrets of the Trade.
Oh, boy.
No, I haven't played it.
I'm going to have words with Sir Toby about that. That's ridiculous.
Maybe I'm not supposed to tell you that.
It's fine. Me and Sir Toby go way back. It's okay.
Okay.
I'll berate him in his silly beard. It's fine.
Very serious beard.
Oh, it's a lovely beard. When did you get called to first play Teresa in Kingdom Come Deliverance?
I believe it was 2015. Sort of a long story, I guess, but a series of events led me to auditioning. So I sent in a video audition first,
Yeah.
and then eventually, maybe I sent a couple video auditions in, and then eventually went into the studio to audition, and was fairly convinced I didn't get the part or wouldn't get the part. And maybe 2 months after I auditioned, they sent me an email telling me I'd gotten it. The email might have come in 2016.
Wow. So I've obviously talking to Tom, we heard the fact that when you recorded a lot of the lines, a lot of it was kind of separate. So you weren't just sat with Tom McKay just doing all the lines together. You were in a recording booth. What was it like, kind of having that separation? Because I remember when we interviewed Tom, he was kind of like, it was interesting, but it was different, I suppose, because normally you act opposite the actor you're working with. But of course, that wasn't the case for you.
We recorded all our cut scenes together. So that was an actual, experience of union, if you will. But the rest are recorded on our own in the studio, usually in chunks of 4 hours. So we just get this big stack of scripts and record them back to back. A lot of times I wasn't recording with anyone responding to me most of the time, but occasionally I would actually hear Tom. They would cue it up so that I could hear Tom's recording if he had been there before me that day or that week or whatever it was. And I could sort of act off of him, which helped a lot, especially for more of the maybe like flirty or intimate scenes where we're talking about the more dramatic subjects.
Oh, of course. We actually had a question about the more intimate scenes. Question was, we found out from Tom that you had to wear, of course, the suits with the balls on. And apparently in intimate scenes, the balls would fall off.
Every man's worst nightmare.
Exactly, yeah. So what was it like doing the intimate scenes? Was that weird?
Yeah, I mean, it was super weird. It was super awkward. I feel like you're supposed to be like, well, everyone's professional, so it's fine. But no, it was super, I mean, it's weird. Of course it's weird. You're wearing these full body suits with these balls, ping pong balls placed all over you. And there's just a bunch of Czech dudes like,
oh no,
watching from the sidelines. And yeah, actually, I think at least for my intimate scene, I believe a lot of people left the room, which was
okay.
But I mean, not like it matters. I mean, there's 1,000 3D cameras capturing it, so
That's kind of terrifying, but it's fine. It's for the
yeah,
art.
it's okay. I mean, like Tom is a consummate professional. Everyone there is a professional. It's just one of those like human acting moments. Like we find sex sort of awkward, right?
Yeah.
Can't really help it. We find it very exciting but very awkward. So it was kind of exciting but very awkward.
Talking about playing Teresa, we had a little discussion about this. Of course, you are the voice of Teresa, but you aren't the face. What was that like, I suppose? Because obviously Tom McKay is Henry. You can see he's Henry. But what was it like for you not being the face of Teresa, but the voice and the motion capture as well? Of course, you're the motion capture.
So it's interesting because I didn't think much about it for years. When I went to audition for it, they'd already found the face. It was never an option for me, so I never really felt disappointed. I was just like, cool, I'm doing this video game, and didn't really think too much about it. I've never seen the face model at Warhorse before, so there's not a ton of like crossover or interaction. I think I just didn't feel anything about it, to be honest. I was fine. But then once Kingdom Come started to get more popular, that's when I sort of was like, oh no, because I think there's like the PR answer, which is like, everything's fine, I do not care. But then there's the truth and the actual answer, which is like, maybe I'm a little disappointed now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine that. If you were, because a lot of the characters were based on the voice actors as well. So I guess it's kind of like, you're like, oh, I've kind of missed out on that.
I think it's pretty cool. So that's part of it. I didn't have social media when Kingdom Come came out and when it was getting really popular. And so I think what was sort of like scary or bizarre was then I mentioned to you on Twitter, like I would get a bunch of messages from people saying I was pretending, or like you were not the real Teresa, or you weren't the real actress, and it's like, but I was. At that point, it was the point where it started to become some sort of disturbance for me. You know what I mean?
That's so bizarre. Like, I
Yeah.
don't get where they're coming from, because I think even in the documentary you can see you doing motion capture.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
So like, there's no
yeah,
reason for them to believe that you're not. You only did the voice and that's it. That's not the case. Like,
like the big sturdy person inside of me is like, you did it. You know you did it. That's all that matters. But then the baby inside of me is like, I did it. Look at me, I did it. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Have you seen Singing in the Rain?
Oh yes, yeah,
So you know that scene where the starlet is performing and she's singing, and then the curtain drops and the other actress who's was doing the voices behind it.
yeah.
I feel like that.
Oh no! Oh, that's terrible.
I feel a little bit like that. I have to
You,
say.
hey, look, you are Teresa, okay? That's it.
Thank you.
You,
Thank
you
you,
did it.
Sexy.
You did a great job. And how's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 coming? Is it going well?
I knew you were gonna do this. I knew you were
I
gonna
did.
do
I
this.
didn't say nothing.
Okay, seriously,
Yeah.
seriously, I don't know.
You don't
I don't.
know.
I mean, like honestly, I was thinking about this because I knew you were gonna ask, and I was like, why would they trust a bunch of loudmouth actors doing interviews with top secret information? They're really secretive about it. So
They are.
you probably know more about it than I do, frankly.
Hey, we know a lot.
I know.
we know a ton. We have been doing our research. The channel is on top of it right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I've seen some of it. It's good.
okay, well, thank
Good.
you. I'm glad. I'm so sorry for putting you through my channel, but
No,
but
it's great.
thank you.
You have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
You must get that a lot.
I get it a lot, and then they see my face. So
No,
I-
no.
they always say I have a face for radio.
Who says that?
People. I have an interesting life, and I think I've done the video called "The Truth," which kind of explains it. But it's obviously the face and the voice don't match completely at times, and it's just like, okay, guys, it's fine. Look, hey, I'm human. That's all that matters.
I think it's wonderful.
Thank you.
I really do.
That means a lot because, like, I've always loved radio. I've always loved radio, and as a kid, I always wanted to grow up and be on the radio, and I ended up melding my own voice to be that kind of dramatic radio voice. You know, I wanted to make it like that, and then I was like, oh, my gender's not my right gender. So that kind of just put a spanner in the works, and I was like, okay, you know what, that's fine. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful though. Thank you for saying that. I'm grateful for people thinking that I have a good voice and I'm able to do that. I'm just glad I'm able to do this. To be honest, like the idea of me interviewing like actors and stuff is mad.
Why? I think you're really good at it. But you know what? I feel nervous too.
You do?
Yeah.
I guess as an actor, you're kind of used to doing interviews and stuff, though, right? That's kind of par for the course, isn't it?
I think it's par on the course. But whether or not you enjoy it, I'm not sure. You know, I don't know. I enjoy talking to you.
Well, thank you. I honestly like talking to someone for the first time. I mean, this is the first time we're talking, like even
Yeah.
in video form. What you said just then about Warhorse, them letting you talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance, why do they have any say on you talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance if, in theory, Kingdom Come Deliverance is over? Is that because there is a sequel? You see, I'm turning it back on it, you know.
Well, first of all, for the record, we do all sign contracts with Kingdom Come. You know, I mean that's part of it, and the NDA doesn't just expire the day the game comes out. But also, like, I mean, I understand you're trying to catch me, but
I would never.
but you actually just can't catch me. Like if
Oh.
I reveal anything, it'll be accidental because I don't know.
Oh,
You know what I
we can
mean?
try. We'll keep going.
You can keep trying.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to keep trying. They want to protect the integrity of the game as it is. I mean, I don't know, but they don't tell the actors anything. We're the worst people in the world to tell. We can't keep secrets.
Oh no.
You know what I
Makes
mean?
it so much easier for me then. It's fine. I'll stop. I'll stop. It's okay. Mago asks, can you ask her why was she offended when I brought her fine wine as a gift?
Was I offended?
You were so offended. So angry.
From my perspective, I record a lot of the reactions. So when in the script there will be a prompt like Henry brings you a present, and it's the various responses based on maybe what he's gone and done. So just, the makeup of the game states that he did something wrong. Maybe flirted with someone else.
Oh, he does that all the time. Look,
Yeah.
he's always at the bathhouse. Henry's always at the bathhouse.
Boy, do I know.
How do you feel about that? You kind of a bit jealous of Henry there?
I'm trying to think about what Teresa would feel. I feel like Teresa wouldn't be upset. She'd be disappointed.
Oh, that's even worse.
I know.
That's harsh.
Like,
Oh,
you're a free person, Henry, but I'm a free person to say I don't like it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I'd just tell him he's a douchebag. Let's be honest. Bit of a
Teresa
douche.
does tell him. I think
Good.
depending on how poorly he does.
Well, I suppose the worst thing you did was give him that dog who won't stop barking constantly.
Oh yeah. I remember
Yeah,
that.
that dog, yeah. I ended up telling the dog to go home because I couldn't cope playing the game with this dog constantly going, woof, woof. And it was just like, I'm trying to record a video.
Oh no.
It's ridiculous. We have a quite serious question from Dusty Shark. I don't know how a shark can get dusty, but there you go. Hi, Victoria. As you brilliantly play one of the few female characters of any substance in the game, I'm wondering what your opinion is on KCD's portrayal of gender in the Middle Ages, specifically attitudes towards women.
Here's what I'll say. They worked very hard to make it an accurate portrayal, or as accurate as they can. The facts are that it wasn't always the best time for women. Speaking to Teresa specifically, because as you know, I haven't played the game, but I know Teresa inside and out, and I know her storyline. There's this idea that I've been exploring a lot recently in my brain, in my thoughts, of like the strong female protagonist, specifically in video games, where women are considered strong when they're fighting and killing and brutalizing whoever they're interacting with in the game. While they're doing that, they're also wearing like a sexy corset and tight leather pants, right? So we're putting this idea out there that women have to be extremely sexy, first of all, and they have to adopt the masculine standard of strength, which can usually reveal itself as fighting and war and whatever, right? So when we have Teresa, who a lot of her strengths and qualities are built around compassion, around healing, around care, around self-reliance, wisdom, wit, that I think is actually a feminist portrayal of women, because it's saying these qualities are worthwhile of their own DLC. These qualities of strength, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, these are qualities to be valued. These qualities deserve their own video game. And I think that that's wonderful. Warhorse has gotten some slack for this, but I do disagree with it.
I completely agree with you. Teresa is an extremely strong character, and she's down to earth and realistic.
Yeah.
I suppose compared, as you say, I don't know, recently watched the new Jumanji film, and obviously Karen Gillan's character has got short shorts on and she's all kick ass and stuff, but it's a bit, come on, really?
Yeah.
What year is this? It's a breath of fresh air to see a female character be so strong and amazing, but also be down to earth and realistic, and I think that Warhorse did a fantastic job at that. I got to ask, what was your favorite line as Teresa? Because there's something I'm thinking of right now. I don't know.
I think it's the same as you. Well, maybe it's not. You have the power to bleep this out.
Oh no, that's not the one.
It's not your line.
No. It's, hey, goat fuckers.
Yeah.
That scene is amazing.
Oh my
I
God.
I
Yeah.
will say that. I love that scene. I thought that
I
was
think that line stands out, obviously. I just felt like it was the most bizarre, strange thing I'd ever read, and I was confused and delighted. I was embarrassed when I recorded it. I was empowered. It was a mix of feelings, which I embrace and welcome. So yeah, that line.
that's a question. Did you go to any of these locations at all in real life?
I went to locations similar to it. Um, I mean, I imagine I did go to some of the locations. Yeah. I lived in the Czech Republic for 3 years.
Oh wow.
So I had some time to gallivant around a little bit. And they did an incredible job as well, the designers of the game.
Yeah, yeah. As I've always said, the forests in Kingdom Come Deliverance are like the most realistic forests I've ever seen in a video game.
Yeah.
Obviously, the castles as well were taken from historical documents and everything else. So that's crazy. Like I did a thing on Twitter a while ago where I said if they do make a trailer, or if they do no, it's not a trailer, but if they do make a sequel of some form, that there should be a trailer of you as Victoria and maybe Tom as Tom walking through like Ratai, and then it slowly melds into the game, like into gameplay. I think that's a really cool idea. Like
Oh, that'd be
having,
really cool.
because like the locations are so close to what they are now. I mean, Ratai hasn't changed at all, really, in those hundreds of years.
Mhm.
And I just thought that would be really awesome. So one of the questions we did have was, did you have any input on Teresa as a character? Because obviously we've only seen the Teresa that you created, but was there a different Teresa before this?
Yeah. Well, Teresa, I was there from they had her as a character. She was a bit more, I think, like tough and hardened and um I wouldn't say mean, but they wanted to really have her lean into that a bit more at the
Oh,
beginning.
right.
Like very like sturdy character who didn't take any BS from anyone. And certainly a lot of that is incorporated. So
Yeah,
I
I was. Yeah,
definitely, yeah, I don't think she takes any BS, but I definitely wanted to bring a bit more of like a kind kindness to her, and I wanted to bring a sort of like forgiveness to Teresa as well. And I felt as well like she had so many hardships in her life. When we did start on Kingdom Come, I did know about the events that were going to happen in the DLC. I didn't know there was going to be a DLC, but I knew about all of what she had been through. So that was something that they had written and set up from the beginning.
that was. I'm guessing because that scene near the start of the game happens as well. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
It's a tough subject. I mean, how was recording that? Was that? I'm guessing it was horrible.
Well, the DLC, man, I was really tired for just weeks. It took a lot out of me. And I think I had spent, as an actress, a lot of time working on, I had already spent time with Teresa working on grieving her family and her brother and things like this. But the dog really just kind of,
No, that is no. That was hard. I didn't like that scene.
that was tough. And that was one
Yeah.
of the times, too, where the director would come up to me afterwards and be like, we can stop if you want. And I was like, no, keep going, keep going. It was tough to film. And also it was a lot of physical work because we redid a lot of the um like fight scenes in the beginning of Skalitz with the humans. So physically it was pretty exhausting, and emotionally it was just like, death, death, death. At PAX is when I said this DLC should be called Teresa's Very, Very Bad Day. It's just one thing after the other with Teresa.
Yeah, it didn't go well, did it?
There have been better days.
Yeah. Yeah,
There-
Sunday was pretty great. Monday was terrible. Yeah.
Monday, not so good. Everything was fine up until then. Tuesday is fine again.
Hey, you got to feed the chickens. That was good.
Well, yeah, for a moment while it lasted.
Yeah.
She's just a character on a page and then an image in my mind. But then the thing that actually I think the thing that people feel coming through when they play the game
Yeah.
is whatever piece that I bring into it. And I think I really focused hard on making Teresa very grounded and I focused on making her very perceptive and kind. Were sort of my driving motivators for her.
I think that shines through with the scene where she looks after Henry, like when he has obviously had all the crap happen to him and he's fought Runt for the first time, and he comes back and she's looking after him, and she's probably been looking after him for at least a week at that point. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she really does care about him, and she cares about her family, and the grief that she goes through in the Woman's Lot DLC is horrible and horrendous. And you molded that character. For what it was on the page, you brought that character to life, and you did it great. And I think you did it a lot of justice. So that's crazy. Like, it's interesting to think like that, because you imagine that the actor would just read off the page and then that's it. But no, there's a lot more that goes into it. You put yourself into that role.
I feel like if there's a moment where you're playing and you're like, that just can't be scripted, it sounds so real, it might have actually been improvised by us. Because we didn't, the main plot and a lot of the main lines, we have to keep them the same as the script, because the designers are working with us to make sure that we do.
Yeah.
They might have already animated the character's mouth, and so if you change the lines, it's actually very serious. You have to stick with it. But for a lot of the motion capture scenes, we were able to. Like the scene where Henry and I dance for the first time, for example,
Yeah.
I was almost entirely like, oh, get up, it's okay, and things like that. And even some of our, maybe the lake scene had some improvised moments in there. Yeah. So,
That's really
so a lot
nice.
of it is just us sort of embodying it to the best of our ability.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just I love it. I love it. So that it's nice to hear that. It's really nice to hear that. Paul asks, when did you discover that acting was your passion, and what training and life experience led you to voice acting KCD?
I was drawn to acting from a really young age. I I think like most, a lot of interests any human has, it sort of reveals itself at a young age. So I was always sort of prone to pretending. I used to crawl up on top of my mom's station wagon and like sing out to the sunset. Um, and I mean, I have memories of like coming across ponds as a kid and taking leaves and pushing the leave through the water, singing Mulan, songs for Mulan. So it was something that did always come fairly naturally. And then when I was a younger teenager, I think I just read a magazine article that talked about acting and auditioning, and it clicked into place for me that it was a job. And from that point on, it was never going to be anyone else. It was always my great. It's always acting has always been my great love. It's been the constant in my life throughout all changes. I love it. I love it.
That's pretty obvious from what you just said. So that's amazing.
It's built in, I think. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think some people just are born to do certain things. And if you're that strongly minded about it, then you can do anything. And I think that's great.
Yeah, I
So,
think so too.
what led you to voice acting?
Well, I wasn't a voice actor before Kingdom Come. Um, I I was living in Los Angeles, and I was very seriously pursuing the regular path: auditions, headshots, agent, the whole thing. And I became extremely fed up with it. I was doing a lot of theater at the time, which was really fulfilling and making me quite happy. But I just couldn't, at a certain point, it's like I couldn't bear the thought of going into audition for blonde bimbo, girl with big boobs, girlfriend to the playboy, whatever part it was. I couldn't do it. I became really, really, I wouldn't say I was discouraged or disillusioned by the acting industry, but it was like, I can't, is this the life I actually want? I have one life. Do I want to spend it in Hollywood around all of this just true nonsense? So at this time, my closest friend had moved to Prague to teach English, and a spot at her preschool opened up, and she said, "You should come, ha ha ha." And I was just so ready for an adventure and so ready for something new that I did. I 2 weeks later, I got rid of all of my stuff at my apartment, and I just flew to the Czech Republic, and I just landed there. I was only going to spend a couple of months in the Czech Republic. And when I basically the day I landed, my friend who was also working on a play with one of the local theater companies there said, we have a play opening in 2 days and someone just dropped out. Do you want to do it? And I said, yes. It felt sort of like the universe was conspiring to bring me into this loop. And I did the play. Through that, I met one of the actors who I believe had already been cast maybe in Kingdom Come. His name was Jim High. I think actually Jim High voiced Henry in one of the like early beta versions.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was him, and he said they're having auditions, and again it was all happening very quickly. They're having auditions. You should come try. I had never been in a video game. I had never done any voice acting work, and so I sent in a bunch of videos, and then they asked me for more, and I sent in, I believe, another video. Eventually going into the studio.
Yeah.
And that's when I auditioned in person for everyone there. And I went home. My 2 months in Prague was up. My stint, my adventure, my temper tantrum, whatever it was finished. And I was back in the United States. And then I got an email saying, hi, you're Teresa. Here's what we want to outline. We're going to ask you to sign a contract. You'll need to stay in the Czech Republic for this amount of time. And I was sitting with my mom and I just looked at her and said, I think I'm moving to the Czech Republic. I think I'm doing it. And I flew back to the Czech Republic and started working on it.
That's crazy. Like, to have that amount of motivation to just drop everything and just go there because you're so tired of it in LA and just go to the Czech Republic and then have that happen. That was meant to be, right? That had to be.
So much of my life has unfolded, the good things in my life and my career have unfolded after that stint in Prague and during. It was a really special time of my life. I will always look back on it really, really fondly.
That kind of leads into Joy Gill's question, and she asked, maybe ask her if her career has changed after doing KCD. How has it kind of grown for you, your career, or is it different?
It is different, actually. I mean, most importantly, my day job is being a voice actor now, which is very nice. I work from home. I've worked on some other games, and
what games have you worked on?
Well, actually, I just worked on a really big game, but I signed an NDA, so I can't.
Does it have a 2 in the title?
No. It's a very popular game, I guess.
Okay.
Really popular. So that's cool.
Okay, I won't ask anymore then. I don't want to get you in trouble.
I know. I really can't say. I mean,
that's fine.
I can tell you I did it, but I can't tell you what it is.
What it is, or yes, okay, that's fair enough.
But I will tell you when I can.
Cool.
Will you cut out my ums if they're musical?
Yeah.
That's my question.
We need some musical ums. That's... Okay, a big question, and this comes from Luke0635, and they say, Bianca or Teresa?
Teresa.
Of course. Tom, by the way, I want to say right now, you may hate Henry even more after this. Tom said he couldn't choose.
Wow. That's a lot to take in.
That is a lot to take in.
I guess looking in the regressed progression of time, perhaps this is why the wine... Perhaps this is why I was so sassy about the wine. So,
maybe, because he was just thinking about Bianca the entire time. Such an awful person.
Oh, Henry. I know the actress who plays Bianca, and she's wonderful. I like her so much. So
I will say I did really like Bianca.
I like Bianca too.
I did really like Bianca. And then she just dies. It's like, oh, thanks, guys. That was great.
I know.
No.
But that is kind of the beauty of the game. Very Game of Thrones. Things happen. It's not always there's not always a clear moral structure.
No. I completely agree with you. Like, yeah, no one was expecting that, I don't think. If you and Henry get married, is it going to be like the Red Wedding, do you think?
I don't know.
someone else asked actually about the gifts. JC Denton says, "Tell her that I can't afford any jewelry to give her, but could you ask her if a dagger would be fine instead?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Brilliant. That's perfect.
Or I should say, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's weird. Here are the I don't know how actors do it. I only got a couple of different. Like, I can't do all these different voices.
So which ones can you do?
Well, I could. Okay, so I think I cut this from Tom's Indie because he asked exactly the same thing, and I was really awkward. So I can of course do hello, as me. I can do the bailiff of Biscuit Town. You know, where you go really deep and kind of like not guttural, but it's deeper. But I can also do Mr. Bean / Yoda. It's a weird mix of between the two. So hang on, I have to I have to dislodge my throat. Hang on. Okay. You have to get right up there at the back
It's really
of the throat.
hard. Yeah.
It's really hard. It's weirdly hard. I did it as a kid all the time, and I'd make my nan laugh all the time. So she loved it, and that's why I used to do it. Hello, Bean. Oh, excuse me, I'm looking for my watch. And of course, Yoda is
You could just say, Bailiff of Biscuit Town I am.
in Yoda's voice. Oh, Bailiff of Biscuit Town, you do. You see, it's great. It's
very
brilliant.
good.
Thank you. I'm in the next Star Wars, by the way. I got hired, so that's positive.
Amazing. I see you just broke your NDA. You tell me.
Oh crap!
Oh no!
Oh no! So you obviously you didn't play the game. Like that's weird. I don't understand why they didn't have you play the game like when it was in development. I find that a bit odd because I think if you had seen the game, it would have helped you be more immersed in your character, wouldn't it?
Well, they built the game based around our motion capture. So what we did see was the scenery. We always got either really in-depth sketches or the actual models. So I always knew what like. I always knew what the cave looked like. I have pictures of this. I think I could send it to you if you want. I don't know if you're gonna edit stuff in or.
I can edit stuff in. If you can, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I have at least one picture of what this looks like. And I think
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, it's right here.
beautiful.
See, it's great. They can see it, we can't, but there it is.
Word progression of time.
Oh no, it's brilliant. What was it like being called back to do DLC? Because obviously you finished recording the game in what year would you have finished recording the main game?
Maybe 2017.
Right, and then they got you to come back and do the Woman's Lot DLC.
Yeah.
And also, of course, you had a lot more romance lines with Henry because, of course, with the Woman's Lot DLC, you had like the whole dating system was a thing. You can dump Henry.
I know. Yeah, they fixed the biggest bug of them all, which was Teresa just ignoring him for the rest of the game. Truly the largest bug.
That was one of the things that I said from the very start after playing through the game. It was just like, so they have fun times and then nothing.
Yeah, it was strange. The thing that started to let me know that maybe Kingdom Come was a bit more popular was this. Because people were sending me messages saying, what did I do? Should I choose a different option? Why won't you talk to me? Where's your... what can I do to make you talk to me? And I would have to say, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm Victoria, not Teresa. I can't do relationships in real life, so I would have no bloody clue.
It's hard.
They stopped talking to me? Well, that's like real life. Great, thanks again. You made me feel so much better with that. Brilliant. But yeah, I'm so...
Just stop talking to you. That's happened to me a lot in my life as well. It's really sad.
It is very sad. Yeah. Because like, what am I doing wrong?
Tell me. Just tell me you're going away.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll survive.
Tell me you're ghosting me, okay?
Tell me. Yeah, I would love to just have someone say, you know what? I would love to have a ghost emoji just to know what's going on.
Oh, that'd be amazing. So next to the name would just appear a ghost emoji.
It just feels better to know.
It does. It does. Otherwise, you have that glimmer of hope that something else could happen, but
I know.
never does. Did you have a actual dog in the studio? Because obviously you have Tinker is the name of your dog in the DLC. Did you actually have a dog, or was that just imaginary? Did you have to follow like a little green stick?
I will send you a picture of this as well. I also have a picture, or I might even have video of it was the torso of a mannequin. Was in fact Tinker.
Oh,
Um,
that's terrifying.
a little terrifying, but the height was correct. So when the torso was upright, that the height was correct.
Okay.
So I interacted with that as Tinker. What was I going to say?
Talking about Tinker, and you had him, and he was a torso of a man.
Tinker was a torso of a man. So Tinker was running around. There was obviously the mannequin is not running around. So that was
It's just stationary on the floor. That's so depressing.
It is very difficult. That Tinker was probably one of the more challenging storylines to work with, but I welcomed it. I enjoyed the challenge. But I mean, just looking around and being like, there goes Tinker. And, Tinker doesn't go there, actually. You're just moving your head around the studio. But it was fairly easy to get into the mindset of it. Yeah, I mean, it's as easy as anything else in the game, because you're just in a room and you just have these holes for props.
Now, I know you're American, so biscuits are not the same for you. What is a biscuit to you?
A biscuit to me is a puffy pastry that you have for breakfast.
Wrong. A biscuit, thank you, is something like this. A jammy dodger. There you go.
Wow.
Oh. So this is a jammy dodger. It's the best biscuit. Not sponsored, by the way. It's got raspberry in it. It's very nice. So I'm going to get one out. And I wanted to ask you, what is your favourite type of biscuit? But seeing as you think that there's some weird fluffy thing, I don't really know what to ask you.
Is an Oreo a biscuit?
Oreo? Oh! Okay. No, that is a kind of biscuit.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. This is
double stuffed birthday cake Oreos.
There you go. That's what a jammy dodger looks. It's got raspberry in the middle,
That's beautiful.
It's very, very lovely. Oh, God. I did not think that through. Now the awkward moment where I continue eating this.
We'll wait all day.
Just well, this has definitely gone a different direction than the last interview. I've been asked, by the way, to interview Luke Dale next, who of course plays Hans Capon, the biggest douche in Bohemia. How was it working with him?
I worked with Luke the least, but again, Luke, nice guy, talented guy.
I suppose that is true, because you weren't really in any scenes with him, thinking about it.
I don't know if I did. So I did actually do a couple cut scenes with Luke, but I don't remember the context now.
That's weird. I don't know.
I'll have to scan through the mental records, but I definitely worked with Luke in the mocap studio. I just can't recall why.
There was that trailer that they released at the end of last year, and it was this party scene. It was very weird. It was this party scene all taking place inside the church in Retail, and it had like dubstep music and like the guard outside with those like bins, like current day bins, and they were using assets and stuff, I'm guessing from what was it, Unreal that they use? I can't remember the engine. Anyway, so they're using all this stuff, and Hans Capon is butt naked, swinging on a chandelier.
Is this are you pranking me? I can't tell.
No, this is real. This is real. This was a trailer that was released at the end of last year. We did a video on it. So there's Retail Church.
And so good.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty standard. Okay. Interesting. Deviating from history slightly.
Just wait. Just wait. Okay, you're in this, by the way, right at the end.
I see myself there right now.
Oh, wait, where? Go back.
She's just sitting there pouting.
Oh, right. No, I thought you were outside later on. There you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not
Okay.
pouting. Maybe she's just feeling contemplative.
There you go. That's real. That exists. I can't believe they didn't tell you like that was happening.
I feel like I'm surprisingly out of the loop, actually.
Yeah, I'm like that a majority of my life. Most people don't really tell me. I'm always the last to know.
You know, me too.
Yeah. So, without saying that it's a thing, you know what I'm going to. If you were asked to go back and do a sequel, would you?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to explore still with Teresa and Henry.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, they're in an interesting predicament. Are we allowed to talk about that? I don't know. It's a spoiler, I guess. You won't know. Everyone knows the end of Kingdom Come by now. Right?
Yeah, we can. I've already spoilers
Spoilers.
ahead. don't don't watch this. Well, you can watch the rest of this, but don't watch this bit. So, yeah, the end of Kingdom Come Deliverance. We've talked about that. I think even in the last video I mentioned this. So, the end of Kingdom Come Deliverance. Henry rides off into the sunset with Handscape on. And Teresa and him are on good terms. Well, depending on how your relationship's gone, I suppose. How many freaking bottles of wine you've given her, I guess. She's probably terribly annoyed with you by this point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be something to explore. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know in this particular area. I don't know the history, but depending on which path your characters took. I have memories of recording several lines that say, "Well, would it be possible? What's next for us?"
Yep.
I don't know how much of this depends on what you play. But
I think that if you've obviously got very close to her, and if you keep going out on dates and stuff, I think that is a conversation, because I think in our videos we've had that conversation with Teresa. So
yeah,
but of course it can't go any further because there isn't any more added to the game, so they need to do that sequel. I really am looking forward to if they do anything, and the fact that you're willing to do it, and I think Tom was when I asked him. I mean, it wouldn't work without Henry, you know. It wouldn't work without Teresa. It wouldn't work. No,
yeah.
It needs to continue. It needs to delve more into the story, because I feel like Teresa is such an important character in a game. Like, we don't really have that in any other games, thinking about it. Like, the idea that it's historically accurate is fair enough, and it gives us this kind of unique look into the past.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned more about anything of this era. I knew nothing about Bohemia or the Czech Republic or anything before Kingdom Come released.
Yeah.
Like, how much did you learn? Did you do a lot of research before the game came out?
I did some pretty basic research before the game came out. I already had an interest in medieval history, but British medieval history.
Yeah.
So slightly different, obviously. But
Well, yeah.
the Middle Ages were always quite intriguing to me.
It's an interesting look at history, and I'm just so glad that we got to play it. And thank you for being Teresa.
Oh, thank you for playing it.
Oh,
Damn.
he's so cute.
I mean, he's very patient. He was sleeping, and he let me just pick him up like this, obviously.
Yeah, that's really good. Like, oh my god. Oh, he
I have another.
loves you.
I realized you have the Golden Gate Bridge because of California.
Yes, it's San Francisco.
It just happened. It just clicked into place.
Ah, there you go. I've always wanted to move to somewhere like Portland, or Portland, Oregon is beautiful. Seattle or San Francisco is kind of like where I'd want to move, because I've always wanted to go to the States. That's definitely been a dream of mine. When I was 18, I was like, I'm going to move to the US, and then I ended up meeting a girl and was like, I guess I'm staying here for a while.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm obviously like, even though we broke up like 5 years ago now, I'm still here. I haven't made that transition because I don't think I have enough money to be able to just up and move, annoyingly. Anyway, I wanted to say a massive thank you to you, Victoria, for actually sitting down with me for an interview about Kingdom Come Deliverance. I love the game, and I think you're absolutely fantastic. You have become one of my favourite characters in the game. I got to the Bailiff of Biscuit Town. He holds a high place for me, but you're my second favourite character in the entire game. So, thank you for sitting down with me. Did you want to shout anything out? Do you have anything you want to promote or talk about?
I have social media now.
Ooh, social media, you say?
It's true. It's strange but true. I know Tom uses no social media.
No, it was really hard to get in contact with him.
Yeah, I can imagine. And then I'm maybe like about there in terms of social media use, but I'm working on it. So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My name is Insert to Species, but it's sort of strange to spell, so
I will be putting it in the description right at the top. So
cool.
You don't have to pronounce it or anything. It's right there. You just click on it, go follow.
Amazing. Yeah, go there.
Yeah.
Go there.
Right there. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I said nothing.
And I just want to say thank you to you and everyone who loves the game. It's really phenomenal. I had no idea it was this popular, and it's really a treat to see how many people connect and relate to the story. And go to the Czech Republic. Go visit. It's a magical place.
Definitely. I think that we can always experience new places, and I think going to the Czech Republic will be really, really cool. Plus, you can meet Toby, and he has this really giant beard. It's all great. Good times.
Yeah. Just follow the beard.
Follow the beard.
You'll know where to go.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching, but until next time, that's me and Victoria. Out. Bye, guys.